buddies, it's Mia, and today we're going to be making macarons. I've made these a bunch of times with varying degrees of success, usually not quite high. I live right at the high altitude switch point, and some things come out perfectly if I don't use a high altitude recipe, and some things come out terribly if I don't use a high altitude recipe. I think macarons might be one of those things that just does not work at high altitude, but we're going to try this recipe and see how it goes. I don't have particularly high hopes, but if this recipe doesn't work, then I'm going to try a specifically formulated high altitude macaron recipe in the future. And I might do that anyway, just to see how it goes. One of the things that's different here in this recipe than the ones that I have tried in the past is that I actually set out my egg whites and my almond flour to dry for 48 hours. You want to get some of that moisture out of there because the macaron is very particular about how much moisture is in it in order to create the lift on the foot that you need. Being the impatient person that I am, I've never actually done it this way before, so maybe that will change something. Let's jump to it. We have our mixture of fine ground almond flour and confectioner sugar, 250 grams of each. And that is pre-sifted, and I left it out to dry on the counter for 48 hours. We want 95 grams of our egg whites. And these are also aged for 48 hours in the refrigerator. In a saucepan, we're going to put 63 grams of water, and then we added 250 grams of granulated sugar. Then we want to add 50 grams of corn syrup and food coloring of your choice. I'm going to go with a sort of a brown that's going to come out kind of cream colored. Meanwhile, over here we have 95 grams of egg whites. It's going to be mixing on low. So we want our syrup to be 244 degrees. So we can pour that into our egg whites. Okay, we are ready to add our syrup. Very carefully. Now that whips for another 3 minutes on medium. And we gotta go stir in the eggs with our almond mixture. Mixing this together. Then we're gonna add our meringue in here. Mixing. Mix it up real good. So beautiful. Wow, that's nice. Okay, now we put that into here. I will say that this is different from the other macaron recipes that I have made. Slightly. So We will see. Oh, wow, this feels unwieldy. Okay, I think we are folded together. Now we begin the over mixing. Okay, so we need to now mix this until it becomes slightly more liquid. I feel like this is a lot of times where I get caught up in making these, because I feel like there's no way that I'm doing this right. The mixture is supposed to, when you fall back onto itself, it's supposed to all just become one again within 15 seconds. And I feel like in order to get there, I'm going to be mixing this all day. Who would spend their time doing this? Okay, I think that might be good. Got pastry bag filled and oop. You just go for it. See, I think I overmixed because they look very flat. Darn it. This also seems to be the world's largest macaron recipe, so if these don't work out, I'm gonna be stuck with like 1,000 ugly macarons. Thankfully, they'll still taste good, but it's not quite the same, you know? I would characterize myself as like a pretty clean baker. You know, I don't like to have too much stuff lying around. There's like never batter on the handles of my utensils. And yet somehow, when you make macarons, batter gets everywhere. It's amazing. It's like on your face, it's on your hands, it's on your dog. As you can see, this recipe makes a lot of macarons. We make a cookie sandwich, so 2 cookies become 1 cookie. So it's not quite as many, but I still have enough to feed a small army here. Many are prettier than others. But now we wait for a skin to form on top of those while they dry. And in the meantime, I am going to make a ganache for the filling. For my ganache, I'm using dark chocolate, 70% dark chocolate. I've got 131 grams of chocolate, so we're going to do an equal amount of cream in my saucepan. And we're just going to put that over the heat until it simmers. Take my simmering cream. We'll just let that sit for a few minutes and let the chocolate melt. This is like my version of what the perfect hot chocolate would look like. That's basically it. Turning on the oven to 300, and then all of our macarons will be going in. I did do the dropping of the pan for the air bubbles, and it scared my dog. So there are still air bubbles. We're gonna let that preheat, and then we're gonna bake. Here we go. And then those bake for 15 minutes. I really hope these work. I don't think they're gonna. I'm going to have to figure out a better way of knowing when to stop mixing. I am a witness now. You saw it took 15 seconds for it to go back into the mixture. And yet when I piped them out, terrible. They have very, very small feet, but they do have feet. I'm going to put our ganache into our piping bag, so we're all ready when our macarons are cooled. And this is the first batch. They're kind of weird shaped. They're kind of sticking to the paper. We're just going to pipe. And sandwich. Yeah. This is what always happens to me. A nice shell. Sometimes you get a foot, a small foot. The rest of the cookie does not rise. It just stays on the bottom. flat, sad. I am frustrated, and sad, and a little angry. I have 2 sheets like this where they won't come off with parchment. If they do, I get a shell with no middle in it. A handful of these came out cracks in the middle because I didn't let the skin form enough on top, which is ridiculous because they were sitting there for like 2 hours, and I live in Arizona. It's dry as hell. These are all wonky shaped. They started out round for the most part. There's a lot of oblong ones, and I've never experienced this before. They're coming out Pringle shaped, which is odd. Yeah, I did manage to get a handful of nice ones that are round-ish. They are not the same size as each other, but they are roughly the same size as its counterpart, so at least that works out. This is the worst experience making a macaron I've ever had. And it just keeps getting worse every time I make them. So I'm going to try again doing the high altitude recipe, see if that changes anything, because I want these to come out looking like they would come out of a bakery, like just beautiful, pillowy, round with the foot on it, and like, is that too much to ask? I'm going to try one. It does taste very nice. I love that. I love a macaron. You're supposed to put them in the fridge for a few days to do something before you eat them, but they're delicious right away anyway. I'm unhappy with the amount of work that it took today. This took me all day, plus 2 days prep, not really prep, but 2 days of waiting for ingredients to dry that, in my opinion, is not worth the effort. I'm gonna put this on the try again list. I gotta go clean up all these dishes. I'm gonna take a nap. Bye, buddy. See you next time. Hope you had a better day than me.